We are taking up Contractors, Plant and Machinery Insurance. Contractors, Plant and Machinery Insurance. See, this is again one of the classes of engineering insurance, or you can say one of the class of engineering insurance which is directly dealing with those plant and machineries which are commonly used by the contractors at the project site. So, since you all belong to the insurance industry, you must be knowing about the India Motor Tariff very well. The India Motor Tariff provides a list at the end of the tariff, and that list includes the Miss D kind of vehicles. Miss D. That means whatever categories are insurable under the India Motor Tariff, like two-wheeler, private car, commercial vehicles, and then miscellaneous vehicles. So then there is a list of miscellaneous kind of vehicles which are commonly used at the project sites by the contractors. Or you can say some of them are used on the roadside, some are used on the project sites. For example, PPT is visible to all of you? Okay. For example, this is a kind of list given in the India Motor Tariff. Now this includes the variety of vehicles which you may not have seen on the public places. Reason being, they are normally not working on the public places. But some of them are very common. Say for example, agriculture tractor, road roller, cranes, excavators, dispensaries, bulldozers even. So they are very common. You can see them on the public places. But if you are getting the proposal for any forklift trucks or gritting machines or rippers or angel dozers or compressors, you need not worry because they are all insurable. Only thing is you have to decide under what category you want to insure them, and this will depend upon the use of the vehicle, point number one, and the registration of the vehicle. If it is registered, it can be used anywhere. If it is registered with the RTO as a motor vehicle, it can be used anywhere across the Indian territory. But if it is not registered, it means the use is confined to the project site and it is used as the machinery, not as the vehicle. In that case, the situation differs. You know, our most branch managers are confused because they don't know what is the basic difference between the CPM and the motor insurance. So in such a situation, they are not even able to decide what policy they should get. And they are looking at the customer what policy he is looking for. That is not the appropriate decision. In fact, a branch manager must be knowledgeable enough to guide the customer that which policy is required and which policy would be used for him. Now, say for example, fire brigade is there. Now, a fire brigade has to be registered because this is flying on the public places. Whenever there is a call, fire brigade has to run and it has to rush to the spot where the fire is there. So under no circumstances it can be unregistered vehicle. Even if it is unregistered, still it can be used because the emergency services are there. But for the vehicles like angel dozers, cranes, grabs, gritting machines, Registration is not compulsory. Because normally they are working at the project site only. And their use is confined to the project site only. So if at all we are giving them a policy which is restricted the use to the project site only, their benefits, their coverage, their premium, everything would be different. How it would be different? When you are giving a CPM policy that is known as the Contractors Plant and Machinery Insurance, you should understand the definition within one line only. Because CPM policy covers all type of contractors, plant and machinery or equipments engaged for work at any specified location in India. Suppose I am a contractor, I have number of excavators, JCB and cranes, but my one project is there in India, in Bangalore, and another project is in Sri Lanka, that is in Colombo. So my risk for Colombo is not covered under the policy. Because this policy, CPM policy, is given for the projects which are working in any location of India. Means at any plant site, the contractor is completely dependent on the machineries and plant work. So physical loss or damage to these equipments can lead to heavy loss as they require huge investment. The cost of machinery itself is huge. If you buy a crane or a JCB or an excavator, they are obviously costly vehicles. So the insurance can keep the contractor relaxed because his or her machinery and plants are protected against any damage or loss. That means this CPM policy will provide the coverage of those plant and machineries of the contractors which are working at the locations or specified locations within the country. These vehicles are not tried to run across the country. They are confined to work at the project sites only, and project site has to be within the country. So this is first basic difference. And then these vehicles are specially designed to protect the interest of civil contractors against the damage or destruction of the various civil engineering projects like dwellings, offices, hospitals, tunnels, etc. Means not the risk of offices or hospitals or tunnels or channels. Risk covered is of the plant and machineries only. But when they are working at these locations, they are engaged in civil constructions, the risk will be covered under the policy. Now how the policy will cover the risk? There are two sections only, there material damage and third party liability can be paid. So in the material damage section, the CPM policy covers or CPM policy provides all risk coverage. That means any unforeseen or sudden physical damage is covered under the policy. Now when we say any unforeseen or sudden physical damage means which is not excluded, because this is a all-risk policy subject to named exclusions. So for example, the excavator or the crane or the machinery, grating machinery, they are at work or at rest or at subsequent erection. Machine being dismantled for the purpose of cleaning or overhauling, or machinery when being shifted within the premises means project site only. In that case, the policy will cover this. Machinery may be working or at rest or at re-erection. Under all the circumstances, the risk is covered. Why? Because the policy is always policy. So as far as material damage is concerned, this is providing a wider coverage of the risk. But on the other hand, third party liability, the policy covers third party property against loss, damage, destruction by any cause. Means here only the third party loss is covered, not the this section is very limited. Here the third party property loss is covered only, not to the persons. So there is a difference between the liability section of the motor vehicle policy as well as CPM policy. Motor vehicle policy provides the unlimited third party liability as per the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act to any person whosoever coming in contact with the insured vehicle and suffered death, disability or injuries. But under CPM policy, only the property damage is covered and not the risk of the person. Moreover, rate schedule is absolutely different to the motor insurance policies. Why? You must have seen in the motor insurance section, the premium rates are applicable as per the category of vehicles like two-wheelers, private cars, commercial vehicles. Under the commercial vehicle again, this could be GCCB or PCCB and then miscellaneous kind of vehicles. But nothing like that is here. What is here? As per tariff, there are 5 groups. And for all the groups, the premium rate is decided. No machinery is interchangeable into any group. If the machinery is listed in group second, the premium rate of group second will be applicable. It cannot be insured under the group 5. Only thing is, earthquake extra can be charged. Otherwise, the premium rate would be the same, and the insurer has the privilege to provide the tariff discount on the applicable rates. But as per the provision, the machinery listed in Group A are rated as 0.60%, Group 2 0.80%, 3 1.00%, Group 4 the costliest machineries, heaviest machineries and more riskiest machineries are covered under this group. So the rate is premium 2.00%. And group 5 is only 0.20%. Machineries which are not risky, which are not having even their own engines, they can be used as the by mounting or by connecting. They are rated under group 5. So for practical example, let us see how these groups are defined and decided. See, this is group 1. Now 3 common things are there. Premium rate is decided as 0.60% plus earthquake. Risk codes are provided for every machinery. Even if you don't know the names, if you are giving the code, machinery can be identified by the code number only. If it is said the code number is given 114, that means this is ensuring only a road roller. Road rollers are covered under risk code number 114. So the risk codes are given, name of the machineries are given and premium rates are given. And the risk, according to this code, the group 1 will include machineries like chain blocks, compressors, airlock, conveyor belts, cranes up to 10 ton capacity, cement silos, forklift, mixing machines, road rollers, scrappers, vibrators. So most common machineries are insurable under this group. Premium rate is only the lowest one, that is 0.60%, but no machinery can be interchanged in any other group. This is group 2. Group 2 means this code will start from 201. Machinery will be rated at 0.80%, earthquake extra. And the list includes aggregate plant, airlocks, gas power generating plant, graders, mobile mixing plant, mechanical sweepers, tractors, trailers, stone crushers, like that. So these machines are codified in group 2. They will be rated as per the group 2. Here the premium rating is not according to the motor tariff, where the OD premium rates are different, third party premium rates are different, PA premium rates are different, and rates are applicable as per the category of vehicles. No. Nothing like that is there. Simple 5 groups are there. Risk codes are there, premium rates are there, and the list of the plant and machinery. So that difference you have to understand how it is different to the motor insurance. Similar in the case with group 3. Risk code will start from 301. Premium rate will remain 1.00% plus earthquake. And the machineries includes bulldozers, cranes about 10 ton capacity, diving equipment, excavators, loaders, bridge inspection machines, pipe joking machines, top lift trucks, breakdown vehicles, hydraulic twin booms. This kind of machineries are included under this. So whenever any proposal of the machinery is coming, you don't get confused over there. Just put the name of that machinery in the Google. That will show the picture. This is the machine, okay. Now you can refer the tariff list under which group it is falling, say group 2, group 4. Accordingly, the rate can be applied. Everything is decided, and this is the common practice for all the general insurance companies, because the tariff provision is uniformly applicable to all the general insurance companies. This is not especially for your company only. So this is group 3. Coming to group 4 and 5. Group 4 includes the riskiest, the heaviest, and the costliest machineries. Code starts from 401. Premium rate starts from 2.00 plus earthquake. Machineries include like drilling machines for water supply, tunnel boring machines. And group 5 include those machineries which may be the attachments of the machineries. Either they are mounted or they are connected. And their premium rate is only 0.20%. So these are the 5 groups where all the plant machineries and equipments are classified. This complete list is given in the India motor tariff under the list vehicles. Maybe some new machineries are added into it, because some 56 kind of machineries are shown in there. Now, when the earthquake has to be charged extra, so earthquake rates are also provided, and earthquake rates are always charged according to the zones. India is divided into 4 zones, zone 1, 2, 3 and 4, where the frequency is the highest. That will be included in zone 1 and the premium rate would be higher. And the frequency of earthquake is lowest. That is in group 4. Those areas are in the group 4, and accordingly if the machinery is used in those areas, so the premium rate will be charged according to that area. So the difference is 10 times. Zone 1st rate is 0.10. Zone 4 rate is only 0.01%. Now, if you are working on any CPM proposal, you are working very hard and ultimately the proposal is materialized, and when you refer to the underwriter for rating purposes, underwriter say no, this is in our decline list, we will not accept the proposal. Your all efforts are in vain. So better to see the decline list first. And all companies are having their own decline list. Whatever machinery is giving them the high claim ratio, they will put it in the decline list because this risk is not working well. So underwriters evaluates those risks every half year or yearly. So in our decline list you will find we don't ensure registered plant and machineries being used by the contractors even at the project sites. Because the machinery is registered, we will not deny the insurance. We will give the policy, but we will provide the motor policy. Say for any crane, excavator, JCB, gritting machine, if they are registered with the RTO, we will not provide CPM policy, we will give them the motor insurance policy, missed the vehicle insurance. Secondly, for agricultural equipment, tunnel boring machines, all type of underground disc, then waterborne machineries, oil, gas, drillings and rigs. So these are the machineries which are in our decline list. Normally we are not accepting the proposal unless they are covered with or unless they are coming with certain other proposals. In that case, the underwriter may consider and apply his own discretion. Now the most important point is the adequacy of sum insured. Here you have to understand the basic difference between the motor and the CPM. See, the wrong practice is a CPM machinery cannot be insured on the basis of the IDV. While all the vehicles of motor insurance are insured on the basis of the IDV. So the first thing is IDV table is not at all applicable to any non-motor category. CPM is a class of the engineering insurance. This comes under the non-motor category, and IDV table is not applicable to any non-motor category vehicles. This is very important to understand. So when you are insuring a CPM, means contractors, plant and machinery, sum insured shall be equal to the cost of replacement of the insured property by new property of the same kind and same capacity, which shall mean its replacement cost including freight, dues and custom duties if any and erection cost. Means you have to insure on that value at which it can be replaced today. This can be better explained by an example. Say suppose I am a contractor, I have an excavator which is 4 years old. 4 years before I purchased it at 40 lakh rupees. And today I want to insure it with you. You asked me the price, I said I purchased it in 40 lakh rupees. You don't need to insure it on 40 lakh rupees. You asked me the current replacement value of it. I'll ask the dealer, the same make, same model, same company. The excavator is available at what cost? Maybe the cost is 48 lakh rupees today. So 48 lakh rupees will be the sum insured, plus freight, dues, custom duties, etc. But not the 40 lakh. Reason being, even if my excavator is totally lost, burnt or destroyed, insurance company is ready to pay me the replacement cost of the vehicle. And the current replacement is 48 lakh. Provided my sum insured is 48 lakh rupees. If I have insured it for 20 lakh rupees or 30 lakh rupees or 40 lakh rupees, company will pay me that amount only. And on that also the under insurance would be applicable, because the vehicle is under insured. So all engineering policies are subject to under insurance and the aggregate clause is applicable. In case of the claim will be reduced proportionately. That means sum insured has to be adequate, not only with the current cost but including freight, dues, custom duties or erection cost, etc. Is it understandable to all of you? Clear to all of you? Any doubts? Okay with all? So, the sum insured has to be adequate, first of all. Secondly, this policy doesn't provide the transit coverage. Now, transit coverage is not. If I am insuring a car, so the car is insured in a motor policy, and motor policy provides the coverage for the throughout the country. Means the total territory of the India. Anywhere I can drive. Even I can seek the extension, geographical extension for the country like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives. But in this policy, transit risk is not covered. Only project site is covered. Means if I have insured and I got the insurance of an excavator or a crane, since this is not registered, so the CPM policy is there, it has to work on the project site only. It cannot run, it cannot fly on the public place, road, no. Even if I have my 2 project sites, 3 project sites, the risk is covered on all the project sites because I have opted for the floater. But to project site, if I am taking it by driving and anything happens, insurance company will not pay me anything. That means the risk during shifting of items of contractors, plant, machinery and equipment in connection with work at the project site from one point of the project site to another point in the same project site is deemed to be covered. Means at one project site, suppose I am constructing a hospital. So from gate number 1 to gate number 4 or gate number 2 to gate number 3, that is within project site, that movement is permitted. But out of the project site, transitors from site to site will be excluded. One project is in Jaipur, another project is in Bangalore. If I am going by a road route from Jaipur to Bangalore or from Jaipur to Delhi, anything happened to my plant or machinery, risk will not be covered. So transit risk is excluded. However, the transit within the covered premises will be covered. Now, what is suggested? When a CPM policy is given, contractors know the transit risk is not covered. If they have to carry their plant and machinery, because they are normally having 2 projects, 3 projects, so on all the sites they are using it. So what they do? Either they take the marine transit policy or they carry it through some loader. Means it is loaded on the other vehicle. Then it is reached. Or the transit risk is required. Because contractor himself is the owner. He has the ownership rights. He can take the transit risk also. Both the provisions are applicable, but this policy will not cover the transit risk. This is very clear. Now certain add-on covers we also provide. And these add-on covers are most common, like third-party liability. Why third-party liability is required? Because policy doesn't cover the risk of the person, this covers only the risk of the property. And risk of the person is very important because if anything happens through the plant and machinery of the contractors, maybe death, disability or injury, contractor is responsible. But the policy doesn't cover. This is not a motor policy which will cover the unlimited third-party liability as per the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act. So here it is always advisable to the contractor to take the third-party liability add-on cover. And here he has to select AOP and AOA. AOP stands for any one person, AOA stands for any one accident. On these limits only the premium rate of 0.25% would be applicable. So this limit has to be selected by the contractor himself or the proposer himself. So this is most useful and advisable. Whenever you are selling a CPM policy, tell the proposer that the third party liability to the person is not covered. If you want to get that coverage, you have to pay additional premium. Add-on cover will be provided to you. You select your limits, we will provide the coverage. Second is owner of surrounding property. Means if there is any possibility of loss or damage due to owner's surrounding property, that risk can be covered at 0.25%. Clearance and removal of debris. This is normally taken by the contractors because they understand the utility of it. Because removal of debris and clearance is most useful for them at the product site where the work is going on and the machinery is being used. Removals and removal of debris and the demolition of the structure is a normal thing. Because of the faulty design, because of the wrong measurement, because of the carelessness of the workers. They are the normal things. If they understand the importance of clearance and removal of debris, and they normally select it. Then there are three duties or charges: additional custom duty, express freight, and air freight. These are also important. Why? Because this is the economics of demand and supply. If the demand of 5,000 cars per year is there in one city, manufacturer should manufacture 5,000 or 6,000 cars. But if the demand of 50 machineries or 50 excavators or 50 or 100 cranes are there, they will not manufacture 5,000 cranes because the demand is not there. Who are the buyers? Limited buyers are there. Contractors will buy. Certain government departments will buy, like Public Works Department, Bridge and Construction Departments, Municipal Corporations. So limited buyers are there. But for the motor vehicles like private cars or two-wheelers, everybody, you and me also. So the part is manufactured in limited number, machinery is manufactured in limited number. Maybe at time when the machinery is working day and night at the project site, some part is broken or the machinery is total loss, immediate replacement is required. It's not possible. The supplier may take, it will take for another 15 days, it may take 1 month. So in such a case, you may have to export, you may have to import from the other countries because the entire product is at fault and the cost of everything is continuing, meter is on. So you can't afford that loss of all other things other than machinery. So you are ready to pay extra additional cost, additional custom duty, extra freight. So if you are taking these add-on covers, nothing extra has to be paid from the pocket because the policy will cover it. Premium is marginal only, lower, limited on. So for contractors, these add-ons are very useful and you can offer them whenever they are buying this policy and they will select it. Now what is not covered under the CPM policy? The first one is most confusing, and that is loss or damage caused due to the electrical and mechanical breakdown. Suppose I am a contractor, my excavator is working at the project site and due to electrical or mechanical reasons there is a breakdown, but it has stopped working. Now my entire project is continuing. I am claiming from the insurance company. Insurance company says no, we will reject the claim because the reason is electrical and mechanical breakdown. I said, well, then what for? I have taken the insurance policy. If you are not covering these breakdowns only. So insurer will explain it in this simple manner. You must also know those reasons. The reason of exclusion is, these are the faults which are not accidental. These are due to the failure of maintaining the vehicle properly. Say fluid is not used, coolant is not used, lubrication is not used, oil is not used. Engine may seize at any point of time. Such breakdowns or derangements are not an accident. These are the carelessness. And because of these reasons, the claim should not be paid. If there is any loss to explosion of boiler and pressure vessel, that will not be covered under this policy because there is a separate policy for the boiler and pressure vessels. Normal wear and tears are not covered. Say suppose some parts of the machinery due to wear and tear is broken without any accident. And over a period of time, the small parts will break because the machinery is used day and night. Say for example, knives, drills, bits, batteries, tires, ropes, chains. At any time they can break. War and warlike operations are not covered. Nuclear radiations are not covered. But the most important thing is transit from one location to another location is not covered. For that purpose, a separate policy is required. Now, if at all there is any partial loss to the insured plant and machinery, that will be settled on the basis of repair loss. Repair loss, how the loss is assessed? Full cost of replacement of parts plus repair charges, cost of dismantling and erection. Depreciation is applied only on the limited life parts. As the repair work are undertaken by the insured, actual material and labor cost plus a reasonable quantum of overheads is payable. Salvage is deducted, compulsory excess is deducted, and under insurance is deducted. If the sum insured is not adequate, under insurance will be deducted. Similar is the case with the total loss. Because insurance company is ready to pay the current replacement cost of that machinery, provided the sum insured is full. Otherwise, the sum insured will be deducted, salvage will be deducted, and compulsory excess will be deducted. So that is the simple way to settle the claims. Now the question is, these are examples of the under insurance only. Now the question is, what is the basic difference between the motor policy and the CPM policy? That you have to understand. Because at every place you cannot recommend a CPM policy. At certain places the motor policies are more beneficial, because if the machinery is, say for example, let's say an ambulance, a fire brigade, a road roller, a mobile dispensary. In such a case, the motor policy is advisable, because the machinery has to work at the public place. So the basic difference between motor and CPM is, first of all, vehicle classification. Because the motor has the motorized two-wheeler category, three-wheeler category, commercial vehicle category, goods carrying, and the commercial category itself GCCV, PCCV, and then MIS class D. Miscellaneous class D include tractors, trailer, excavators, crane, dumper, road rollers, ambulance, dust cart. They are all insurable in the motor insurance also if they are registered. But no such category is there in the CPM. Motor tariff is different, CPM tariff is different. CPM tariff says there are 5 groups. Group 1, 0.60%. Group 2, 0.8%. Group 3, 1%. Group 4, 2%. And Group 5, 0.2%. In motor policy, every risk is a named risk. Named in the sense, fire, lightning, earthquake, STFI, RSMD, accidental external injuries. In CPM policy, nothing like that is covered. All this policy is there. Exclusions are specified, exclusions are listed. In motor policy, one most important thing is overturning of the plant and machineries is not covered in the inbuilt coverage. For that, additional premium is charged. Because these machineries are insurable under MIS-D. If there is any overturning of that vehicle, additional premium has to be charged, otherwise this will not be covered. In two-wheelers and private cars and commercial vehicles, overturning is automatically covered. But in MIS-D type of vehicles, additional premium is charged. While in CPM, this is overturning is automatically covered. Compulsory excess in motor insurance is very small, very limited. In two-wheeler 100 rupees, in private car 500 rupees. If the car is more than 1000 cc, then 1000 rupees, like that. Maximum 2500 or 3000. But in CPM, the compulsory excess starts from 12,500 on each claim. 12,500 rupees on each claim. Another important factor is motor tariff is covering motor vehicles, CPM tariff is covering CPM vehicles, but in addition there is a Motor Vehicle Act also that is also covering the provisions of the motor insurance. This act is not applicable to CPM insurance. Because CPM insurance is not compulsory. This is as per the choice of the contractors, either third party or the material damage section, nothing is compulsory. In motor insurance, all vehicles meant for road use compulsorily registered with RTO. But in CPM, no vehicle is compulsorily required to be registered with the RTO. If they are used at the single location, double location, or any project sites, registration is not mandatory. Because motor vehicle can be used anywhere in India, whether self-propelled or in transit by any mode. But CPM, contractor plant and machinery, is used only at the project sites, maybe one or more than one. Then the third party liability coverage. Motor policy has third party property damage limit only for 7.5 lakh in commercial vehicles and 2 lakhs 1 lakh only. Otherwise, for bodily injury, for death or for disablement, whatever amount is decided by the court called motor accident claim total has to be paid by the insurance company. But this is not the case in the CPM because CPM covers only the property damage, that too subject to the limit of the sum insured. No third person liability is covered. For that, additional add-on cover has to be taken on the payment of additional payment of the premium. Sum insured concept is different between motor and the CPM because the sum insured in the motor is decided on the basis of the IDV, that is ex showroom price minus depreciation based on the age of the vehicle. But sum insured here in CPM is taken on the basis of the replacement cost, current replacement cost. Both the policies are transferable, CPM and motor. But there is no concept of no claim bonus in the CPM. This concept is there in the motor insurance policy. Every vehicle is entitled for a no claim bonus if there is no claim on its previous policy. On the next year, at the LCB prescribed LCB slab, the discount will be given from the OD premium. But in CPM, there is a claim or no claim, no discount provision is there. No claim bonus provision is not applicable at all. One common mistake I would like to explain to all of you. With a practical example, you can understand. Say suppose a Tata Hitachi X110 excavator is there. It was purchased 4 years ago at 40 lakh rupees. If it comes to you for insurance, your first question should be whether it is registered with the RTO. If he says yes, then you say okay, we will insure it in motor insurance. And then the second question should be what is its current replacement value? He will ask the dealer and will tell you the price. At that price you will insure. But if you are giving a motor policy, then the IDV will apply. Suppose 4 years ago I purchased the excavator and 5th year I am taking for insurance, then the cost price that was 40 lakh rupees at that time, today it will be after 50% deduction as per the table, only 25 lakh only. 20 lakh only that is. So motor insurance will apply IDV table, which is not at all applicable to the CPM insurance. In CPM, if you are not aware that the IDV table is not applicable and you are insuring it on the basis of the IDV, so because of your fault, insurer is going to suffer the losses. Because if there is any loss, the surveyor will assess the loss, he will inspect the policy as well as the machinery itself, and he will see what is the sum insured value, whether it is the current replacement value or not. If it is lesser insured, he will apply the under insurance and the claim will be reduced proportionately to that extent. Escalation can be taken, escalation clause, if it taken, it will increase the value, or this would cover the as increased price during the policy period. It can be suggested. Air flat can be suggested, floater can be suggested, because if the contractor is having more than one project site, he wants to cover all the project sites because all machineries are utilized at all the project sites. So the plotter can be given. And all the machineries can work at the plotter at the project sites. Except the transactors, every risk will be covered. Every risk will be covered. Now the important question is, when you are giving a policy, CPM policy, take complete, make model identification and chassis number, hypothecation detail, and give the complete risk location and address of the locations. The proposal can come to you of certain machinery like this. Now most of the machinery you have not even heard, not even seen. Say lawn movers, ladder carriers, levelers, lateral dozers, milk vans, prison vans, refrigerated units, drilling rigs, dumpers, dust cars. The proposal of these vehicles come to you, you don't say, no, we don't insure them, unless it is in your declining list. All are insurable. But if they are registered, then in motor insurance. If they are not registered, then in CPM. Some other machineries are there like this. Scrappers, shovels, leveling plant, spin plant, tankers. They are insurable. And the simple thing is, you just put the name in the Google and see the image of the vehicle. You will understand what kind of vehicle it is and what for it is used. This will simplify the things. So there is no worry that you have not seen all the 56 kind of machineries or vehicles, so you cannot insure it. This is not the case. CPM policy can be given easily. Image can be seen. But the pattern will be absolutely different from the motor insurance, because this is absolutely different as far as the coverage, as far as the premium rate, as far as the liability is concerned under the policy. There is no similarity at all. Now you may ask any questions. Any doubts, any questions?